You're going to hear from Chair Jessica Vega Peterson of Multnomah County, Portland Mayor Keith Wilson, Multnomah County Emergency Management Director Chris Voss, Dr. Richard Bruno, who is the health officer for the region, and we have on hand acting PBEM Director Jordan Wiley. So with that, I'd ask Chair Jessica Vega Peterson to begin.
Thank you, Julie. Good afternoon. Thanks, everyone, for being here today. We really need your help in sharing this information about this upcoming heat event. I have declared a state of emergency for Multnomah County that begins at noon today and runs through 9 a.m. on Monday. This declaration gives us the flexibility and resources needed to rapidly respond to this extended period of severe weather. I want to stress that this is the highest heat risk that our community has faced so far this year. Starting today, it is going to be very hot for an extended period of time, with temperatures expected to be over 100 degrees for multiple days. Multnomah County will be opening up emergency cooling centers for at least the next 2 days, beginning at noon today, extending the hours of some library locations, and performing extensive outreach to our unhoused neighbors and our most vulnerable populations, including seniors. I'm grateful to our Multnomah County staff, our partners at the city, and additional partners throughout government and our community. This really is an all hands on deck moment for our community. This is the second heat emergency that I've declared this month as the county grapples with human-caused climate change. Even a decade ago, we did not regularly face life-threatening events or lose people to heat illness. That has definitely changed. That is why Multnomah County has sued the fossil fuel companies that we believe should be held more accountable. That is why we continue to work for a more sustainable world. And that is why together we must keep one another safe in these times. The best place to get information is multco.us/hot. That is where we have all of our information listed. I'm going to leave it. We have a lot of experts here today who can talk you through the specifics of our response, what that looks like, so they'll be available in just the next few minutes. What I want to share and to be as loud and clear about as possible is that this will likely be the hottest weather and the highest heat risk that Multnomah County will see this year. So please, everyone, take the health risks this coming week seriously, extremely seriously. Avoid being outside if you can. Find a cool space inside to be. There is an interactive map of the places that anyone can seek respite from extreme heat, again, at that website, multco.us/hot. If you are an event organizer, and I know we have several large-scale events planned for this weekend, so if you're an event organizer, if you were planning on attending an outside event during this heat wave, please reconsider. We should be prioritizing the safety of our community above all else. And if you do have to be outside, and this is for everyone in our community, drink lots of water, stay hydrated, seek shade, take breaks. Don't push yourself. This is going to be extremely hot weather. Above all, please take care of yourself, take care of your neighbors, your family. We need to come together for this event. If you can help somebody get to a cool space, even for a few hours, please do that. It makes a huge difference. Also, help us share this information, get the word out to people so that they know really what we're facing in a prolonged period of heat for the next several days. Everyone pitching in is how we are going to keep our community safe. So thank you. And with that, I will turn it over to Mayor Wilson.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you to the media partners for showing up on such short notice as well. We appreciate you getting the word out. The city, county, and all our partners are taking this heat emergency very seriously. We are acting now to save lives over this next several days. While Multnomah County is the lead agency for heat emergencies, the city is working in close coordination. We are jointly declaring an emergency declaration. Our first responders, including Portland Fire and Rescue, Portland Street Response, are prepared to give life-saving care to help people cool down. Thousands of neighborhood emergency team members have been asked to check on their neighbors and help them make a plan to get somewhere cool. Portland Parks and Recreation maintains fountains and activates splash pads that stay on through the summer. Please seek them out. Right now, there are more than 70 safe, cooled spaces across our city. Shelters and libraries, community centers and malls and splash pads, parks with misting stations. Please seek them out. We're ready to provide the care. We've opened St. Stephen's, our newest overnight shelter at Southwest 13th and Clay, not just overnight, but beginning at noon today, 24 hours. To our neighbors experiencing homelessness, I encourage you to seek shelter at this location and others. If you're feeling dizzy, weak, or disoriented, please come inside and seek care. You belong in these safe spaces, and our shelters have space for you right now. Your life matters and your life is important. Let us keep you cool and cared for through this heat wave. This heat wave tests us. It does every single year, but it also reveals our best selves. Look out for one another, share water, offer a ride to those in need, send a text to check in. And when we move forward together, we protect the health and spirit of our entire community. So thank you for this opportunity, and please stay cool. I'd like to introduce Chris Voss now.
Hello, Chris Voss, Director of Emergency Management from Multnomah County. This is going to sound a little repetitive. We want people to do three things. One, we want you to think about what you're doing today and for the next couple days. If you could avoid the hottest part of the day, we want you to avoid the hottest part of the day. Stay hydrated. Next, if you do not have air conditioning or someplace that you could be cool, we have a great tool. You can go to our map, and as the mayor said, we have over 70 locations on that map. It's 15 libraries, it's multiple splash pads, it's pools. We want you to go and find one of those places where you could stay cool. That's very, very important, not just for today, but potentially for the next several days. And then third, if you're someone sitting at home in the air conditioning and you're really comfortable, we want you to call some of those friends and family that might not be in the same position and offer up that opportunity for them too. Because anybody that we can get out of cool, we're happy to open up locations and offer opportunities, but they just might be more comfortable in your house or in your couch staying cool with you. So that's it. Stay cool, stay safe, and I'm going to hand it off to Dr. Bruno with the Multnomah County Health Department.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. Yes, we're a little worried about this heat because it is going to be the hottest day, but also the longest stretch of hot days in a row. So I want to also reiterate some of the messaging here. Number one is don't go outside if you don't have to. Don't go out in that heat. Stay inside and indoors and stay cool as much as you can over the next few days to ensure that you're taking a break, and especially if you do have to be outside, taking a break and getting into the shade, staying hydrated. Number two, really know the signs of dehydration and know the signs of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. These are really things that can creep up on you quite quickly, especially dehydration. When you start getting that dry mouth and starting to feel really thirsty, you're already in mild dehydration. So it's really important to be very preventive and stay hydrated throughout this time. Heat exhaustion is really where your body starts to say, hold on, we got to take a break here. You might start getting a fast heart rate, shallow breathing, a little nausea or vomiting, excessive sweating. These are signs you really got to listen to your body, get in the shade, get hydrated, take a cool shower or a mist as quickly as you can. And then heat stroke is really kind of the final step where actually you might lose consciousness or start having seizures. This is a life-threatening emergency. If you or someone you see or know experiences that, please call 911 right away and get to a hospital. So, and number three, our final recommendation is that to please make sure that you're checking on neighbors, that you know about the resources, that you're sharing the resources that are on our website, multco.us/hot. It lists all the resources that Chris just mentioned. It also lists our cooling centers that are open today from 12 to 9 p.m. that will be available for people to come in the air conditioning and get cool water and snacks and take a break from this hot heat. And please be safe out there. Thank you.
Great. So we have a minute to take some questions. If anybody wants to ask some questions, if you go ahead and say your outlet and ask your question. Joelle?
Well, Jones with Point 6. My question is for Chris Voss. My question is, why not keep the cooling centers open overnight? We heard the mayor talk about how, that shelter will be open overnight. But why not? We know that we're not going to see quite a reprieve from these
Yeah, well, and one, we're really glad that St. Stephen's is open overnight and we have that option. We're going to continue to watch this event. One of the things that we're obviously concerned about is the longevity of this event. And if we're starting to get the feedback that, and we're starting to see the temperatures in locations really start to heat up, that may be a decision that we choose to make. Early on in an event, we don't quite see that heat up. Right now, we know that certainly the hottest part of the day will be the greatest risk. That's why you see so many opportunities in those key hours between really noon and 9 p.m.
Christina?
Clackamas County has a situation where they have their bars pretty stable, so people actually know have you guys considered doing something like that so people have some level of stability and certainty and they know when they can show up?
And I'm so sorry, there was a car racing by and I missed part of that.
Yeah, Clackamas County has a situation where they open their cooling centers every single time it hits a certain degree temperature. Your bar for when to open these is a little confusing to folks. They don't actually know when to show up and not to show up. And as you know, there's camps all over the place. How do people actually know when to show up when it's so uncertain?
Yeah, so you know what? With heat, there's actually a lot of factors that we look at. And I often want to say that there's just not one thing, and sometimes it might not just be temperature. We saw the event a week and a half ago where humidity actually came into play. We're like, okay, well this is the temperature, but we've got to count humidity as well. Sometimes that might be smoke. Sometimes it might be the day of the week. As in, no, we know a Sunday there's not as many opportunities, so we might be more likely to open. It might even be the time of year. We know August typically there's a little more acclimation, so we might be more likely to open in a May or June if we see an event. So to just have a temperature for us, we think that's only part of the story. It's why that we go down this route. But I also want to sort of acknowledge what the mayor and the chair chose to do for this event. Knowing that sometimes it's a little complicated, I often think that we have a plan. And our plan is each morning to sort of say, hey, did we meet these thresholds? But really smart leaders know, hey, when do we need to maybe not follow that exact plan? And that's why we made the decision today to also keep cooling centers open tomorrow, because we wanted to get ahead of that. We wanted to make sure that the information's out there, and we wanted to give people a little bit more time for the information to get out there, for people to also make decisions about what they would be doing tomorrow on a Saturday.
What percentage of the homeless population here do you think actually knows when the homeless centers
You know what? I know there's not someone specifically that group, but I could tell you that we work closely with HSD. We also work closely with a lot of the vendors. We have outreach teams that are out there, and they've been out there for days communicating, and we know that they've been out there right now. They're delivering water, they're delivering electrolytes, but they're also sharing information. They're sharing information about what opportunities are available.
Do you know how many people total are going around the city doing this?
I know there's 36 zones, and we've got contractors in every one of those zones sort of doing that work. The exact number of folks, I think we could probably find that information for you.
If you do choose to open them up, cooling centers at night, do you have staff ready on standby to open these centers up?
So we typically do recruitments, but we do have contractors as well. So I want to say we have some of those staffing that we already have identified, and then there was probably an additional recruitment to make sure that there's no gaps.
So you've identified the locations this will already be at when you open them up?
We do have several locations that we work with regularly. So we would likely use some of the locations we already have. You might even see us open up additional ones if we think that we might not have enough space. One of our key goals is not to turn anybody away. So if that means we've got to open up more locations, we will do just that.
How long does the recruitment process take? Like, could that be done within a few hours if you decide, okay, we need to open this in the next 3 hours?
So it often depends on how many you have. I could tell you we put out a recruitment just yesterday for some folks to help with some of the logistical pieces. And in 8 minutes, every one of those positions were filled. We sent that message out to the entire county. It was great to see that's filled. Sometimes it's not that fast, so sometimes it does take us a few more hours. And if anybody's seen a big winter event where sometimes we've got 10, 12 locations open, we know we need even more time than that.
So we heard several folks say today, avoid going out there in the heat if you can. But we know that Coast to Coast is happening as well as the Hawthorne Street Fair. Tons of outdoor events. What kind of coordination are you guys doing with the event organizers? Are you enforcing anything? Or are you leaving it up to them? What can we expect?
Yeah, I'm going to hand this off to Dr. Bruno, who actually, I know his team has been working closely with some of these groups.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, our environmental health team within our public health division of the health department has been very active, contacting event organizers, making sure that they have a heat plan in place and they have an emergency action plan in place. We've been weighing in, making suggestions about other ways they can improve their ability to provide additional water and supports for people during races and during other events that are happening this week and this weekend.
Okay, well, we just want to thank you all for coming. Email the press office at malco.us with any follow-up questions, and Christina will try to get some staffing numbers to you today. So again, thank you, everyone. We appreciate you being force multipliers and helping us get the word out. Appreciate it.